Did you have your resume?
I actually found it printed. I just forgot to update, like change it. So it says present for my last job. I just forgot to like change it and put it as that it ended in November. This is right here.
Okay. So usually when people look at the resume, they look really quick.
Yeah, it should be 1 page. That's
No,
all.
sometimes it can be 2 pages, but it depends.
Okay.
Like if it's really outstanding, then it's leading to 2 pages to really demonstrate. Otherwise, you don't have to list so many. But so technically, what is the Southwest CTA?
Oh, that's the high school I went to.
Okay. So that is.
I'm trying to make it like the education.
No, you have that, but I just didn't know. So what exactly what can you do in terms of hard skill?
Hard skills. I know when I did like start healthcare, those hard skills was like understanding medical terminology, understanding like patients. I know like when you work in the medical field, you have to pay attention to small details. So I feel like that was like the biggest thing with regarding with like hard skill, just because I started off with zero experience, zero knowledge about medical. I felt like within 2 weeks of working there, I was able to adapt, and it's just I was able to build my knowledge. I feel like that's one of the hard skills when it comes to being in healthcare.
So what is the word you say?
Like hard skills, like
Yeah.
to know.
And that, what exactly is that? I didn't catch.
Oh, is it like something I can't do or something that I was able to do?
Yeah, you're able to do it.
Hard skills. Let's see. I would definitely say when people. How do I put it this way?
So hard skill is anything relating to I can do sales, I can do coding, I can do this, I can do really specific hard skill, like relating to specific thing.
Does like medical field like I don't know how you put it this way. It's very hard for me to put words together.
Are you supporting them or are you actually doing certain thing in medical that you work?
When I did front office, it was like basically handling like appointments and stuff.
Okay, so scheduling, that's a hard skill.
Scheduling, I can't say this word, confidentiality.
Uh-huh.
Like, so with their information.
Okay. So you kind of do pretty much management size, right? You help them to get client ins, check in, and all of that, or is that what it is at the front desk? What is that the job?
We check patients in and out.
Okay, so that is operations and management.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those skills are operating. So help the business or help the place to get their clients. So in terms of soft skill, what are you comfortable with, or what is your top 3 that you're really good at?
For like the soft skills, I would definitely say when it comes to teamworking or communication, and sometimes, well, I would say leadership, but not too much, just because like when I'm able to build teamwork with people, I'm able to, if someone else needs that help, I'm able to help them. So I've done trainings before, not too much, but I trained like when it comes to like new workers, so it's like kind of feels like a leadership. but I'd definitely say just team working, like building a team, communicating, and leadership.
So communications first, and team building is the second,
Yes.
and then third is what?
Leadership.
And then give me an example of the communications that you really good at.
There's, let me see. Can it be like any example from the
Yeah.
job? I know when I work at the medical office, not the last job, there is someone that called regarding for insurance, I think payment methods. So there's two different departments that I worked for, or in the office, I work for the front office and there's billing. I think this person was confused, so I was able to communicate, for regarding for like payments or like billing that goes to them. Because I did get, when I first started, I did get a lot of calls regarding billing at first, which I didn't understand. But as soon as I was able to understand and learn the difference of like regarding with insurance, there's also like medical records, billing. It's going to be separate. Let's see.
So that's all I need to hear. So from what I hear, it sounds like communications towards clients, right? So technically that is something you try to explain to them. But in terms of the soft skill regarding to work that they're looking for, it's the internal communications. Well, that could be a plus that you help the clients. But communications, when you mention is technically when you work in a team or you work in a company, then for instance, if I'm really communicative in terms of, keep my managers or my coworker know that exactly like how I am doing, or if something will go wrong, I will keep them updated.
Mm-hmm.
Let them inform about what's going on at the clinic or the office. So in terms of that, are you waiting for someone to ask you to report things, or are you like active to really communicate with them?
Yeah.
So that is whatever they ask you those questions, they want to hear, internals. You can actually list it out too, when you would say like internal, when I work with people, communications is everything, so I keep them like, hey, I want to go take a break or something like that. And then, like, do you need anything further from my work, from my positions with the boss? And then you can list it out. So at least they understand the two sides, and then show them like you really active in your communications, right? So in terms of teamwork, what exactly that it's make you stand out regarding to the teamwork?
Because I know like regarding when I worked in healthcare compared to food service, it's because I know you do work as a team, you help one another with like a server, hostess. Compared to healthcare, if we're dealing with something that we're unaware of, like normally we do like ask like our supervisor, but it's something that like if it's just between like the front office without the supervisor, we would just ask each other questions about like, hey, how can we like do this or do that? I know that when we worked because I worked with computers for front desk, so we'll have like our own tasks. So if we're not sure, because we did different things, some of them did regarding for like checking in, I did checking out, and some other people did like, what's it called, medical records. But most of the time, like we all have similar tasks, so we're able to work together if we're working on a patient and someone else has like information regarding, let's say, like if I needed information about insurance, I'm able to go to someone who's dealing with their insurance.
Okay. Yeah, so technically, sometimes when you apply for a job, this is just my feedback. Usually, they don't really say anything during the interview. So if they answer, they just go through. But this is also helping you to practice and kind of know how exactly to answer. So it really depends on the job that you apply for, right? So for instance, if you apply for a hotel industry, they don't know anything about healthcare. Whenever you say anything detail, they have no clue about what's going on because they're not in that field. So the more detail about answer those, maybe it's good when you apply for the same positions.
Okay.
So if you apply for something totally different, then you need to be more general as possible. So there's something that is make that is not only concise, short, and catch their attentions. When in terms of anything related to list out like this, I'm a team player. I support my coworker. Anything go wrong, I will jump in to do the work or help them. So at least they hear like, oh, this can apply for something in my industry then. So that's the reason why they want to hear short, but then really catch their attention. So otherwise, it will be like list out, and they always like, what is this? So that's where you have to practice a little bit more. And then for instance, it's like leadership. Leadership is something that you leading people. If you share some example, but then you don't understand about definition, but you say it, they will know that you not understand completely. So for leadership, you have to be a top or managers or something that leading the whole people working there, right? So when you share about leadership, like I'm leading group of 4 people, and I help them to delegate tasks. I help them to explain, and then they do their part, and then I help them to check at the end of the day. Also motivate my team when they feel down. Inspire them with the work that we do that is really difficult. That's leadership. So you just need to say something really like general in terms of different industry. Otherwise, it's hard for them to imagine what's going on. Okay, so that's the reason why when I've been hearing it's just about my last job, so it's repeated for them to, it's like they don't really understand what can you do, because you have to apply from all the work experience from like everything combined, right? That's create who you are. Otherwise, it's for them it's challenging. So for me, do you do research before applying for a certain jobs?
Like check for reviews?
Do research is mean to understand what is their missions and visions of certain company, and also what do they do, and why it resonate with you?
Yeah, I look at like the requirements or qualifications, and then like the job position details. That's what I look for a lot.
Okay. Yeah, so technically maybe you haven't had a chance to get some workshop that really teach you how to do resume and also interview. But I taught my friend a lot back then in college. So technically when you apply for jobs, besides looking at those requirements, yes, so you can adjust your resume, but also you have to look at the company. So when they answer or they ask you questions, you gotta understand what are they what the company offering, or what is their missions and visions. So you really catch and understand why you should fit in, and you should try to sell yourself, right? I'm like, for instance, you apply for a job with a boba shop, and you can know exactly when they just started, how the social media, how many followers they have, and where's the locations, and like what are the different competitors that they have, right? So when you jump in, they ask you questions, all that stuff, and you share a little bit about, I did a research about your company, and I have the experience with the previous one that can actually help and contribute for your new business to grow this, right? So that's actually catch them, because they need someone to help them to grow. That's why they want to hire people. Maybe they don't hire you because of certain exactly positions, but when you say something like that, it's really help them, like, oh, you did spend the time to do research about us, and then you offer solutions to help us to grow. That's how they're gonna hire you, because you gotta sell yourself. Like, I'm a hard worker, I'm a motivator, and I'm so like punctual with my time, and I can like do this to help you within what, right? So if I have a chance to work with you guys, I will promise to like deliver that message, and you have to know exactly you have to write it down before coming. Otherwise, it's like they will say, okay, she doesn't know anything, because it's products everywhere. Everybody answer the same thing and tell like the previous one, but you want to have something refreshing that wake them up, because they might have 10 interviews a day. It's also like so boring. But when you can actually bring some new energy, some refresh idea and new solutions, that's how it's helped to like really catch the work or get the work into the job. Okay, so that's the reason why I asked, because for me, I sent it to one of the girl HR different company to hire people with social media. You know, but I don't really know your skill and you know your degree, which maybe you did not study. That's fine, because it's easier to coach you. But then you have to really like make the time to learn. Otherwise, like you just doing the same thing that they give it to you. It's just like office work. You don't have any skill. Hard skill is one of the most important thing in like high income skill, right? You can, like everybody can do scheduling. Right now, technology can replace you, right? So you have to do something or learn something new that not like they don't replace human, and they still need that work. Otherwise, it's they don't really need it. And then you know, inflation's everything right now, or the workforce or economy. Sometimes people don't want to hire it because of the holidays, and you know, if they willing to spend the money, they need to make sure that you can do something. Otherwise, it's a waste of money. Like even like $2, $3, or $10 or $5, they're not gonna do it. So that's the reason why I just want to let you know. So I'm gonna actually ask you certain questions to see what can I try to like find the right thing for you to do in my company. But I don't think you did the research, because you know it's sometimes you don't have time, right? So I'm just briefly share with you about what we do, and then from there I can create a map for you to see if I can train you, and then you know start hiring. But usually in Vietnam, when I hire people, even like pay or interns, for pay people, I let them work for two months without paying. Like technically, it's like what is that called? Probations period. For even interns, if they don't pass that, they don't have the skill, they cannot deliver. I'm not even intern is unpaid, right? I don't even hire because it's hard to coach them. Like spending the time to coach someone, just like you pay for education, the professor can teach you, and now the company have to spend the time. That's why like some company they don't have the time, but if they have the resources to train you, those cost money. They have to hire people to train their staff, but then at least the staff have to have the certain knowledge. Otherwise, they're not going to spend money on that, because they can send you back to school, or you have to go get financial aid to get that ready. So technically, my company, the main thing we do is help immigrants come here to America to start a new life, right? Then we offer resources, education for them to understand which way is the fastest way to help them save time to achieve their goal for the green card. So we do that part, and then we actually refer them to a different company that handle all the paperwork for them. But then everybody can come here in which certain way. But then when they come here, bringing either their whole family or by themselves, they're technically a kid. So we build a community to help them to connect with Americans and also educate them to start a new life here, which is how to get jobs, how to find houses, everything you can imagine that's a kid just born. So we do all that part, find house, get social, get insurance, and you know get the bank accounts and get educations and all that. But then how to make sure that to help them to create and reach their goal, that's the main part. With the mentors and coaching from my own experience. And then just imagine when they fly here from different country, that's why we have an additional travel program or service to help the clients. Because I would rather to have that in internal to help them and then they can also earn the money. So anything we try to do is create more jobs for the people come here, and even for our staff, so they can actually make more money, have a better life, and also support the other people, right? So that's why it's technically I was trying to actually establish the NGO, stand for nonprofit organizations, but that costs different level of money, and also like require more people in the team. And I just launched my company here, but I have a startup in Vietnam since 2022. I have 20 staffs, so it was a lot, and me managed them. So I was really strict. If they not answer the resume or the interview right, I'm not gonna hire, even like unpaid interview, because otherwise you spend time for nothing. Then for you, then you understand a little bit about what we do, but in terms of helping people to grow, that's the main part for Visions. And then the travel side is help to boost tourism in America, also in Vietnam. So we do exchange program and also trip from here to America to the Vietnam, so people can have more job, because when we bring tourists, it's both tourism, it boosts businesses, houses, rentals, restaurants, everything for these people who actually have the intention to come here to America, right? So if we push our clients to just travel and then just hang out, that is like a similar to any company right now. But then we create specific reason. Hey, if you travel to Vietnam, and especially you purchase group tour through us, we not only show you Vietnam, but also show you how people live there and connect with local people, which most agencies they don't do that. And then also we bring them to charity, so Americans, they can see Vietnam or third world country in Asia in different perspective. Now they see how the kids over there live, how the unprivileged kids try to go to school and don't have money. So it's create more meaningful of the trip that they going to, that I'm like, oh, my money actually spending to helping people. And the people who actually work in the group tour that related in Vietnam, those people have the intention to come here. Otherwise, I'm not hiring them, because I want to support them to have more money. So that's what we do in briefly, right? So that's it for that company. But we've been having social media, having website. I'm trying to finalize right now. But then in order for me to do here, I need someone to actually help me, not only social media. Because business needs social media nowadays. I have 5 social media accounts to manage. So it's a lot. So I want to make sure that I can teach you that. And also some office work, which operations like personal assistant, right? You have to learn how to do so many things that most people don't have the ability to really do it. But you have to think, okay, if I'm a personal assistant, which I'm doing CEO work, then what exactly do I need to do? It's a lot. But then you have to know everything. Otherwise, it's hard. Because now I'm like, okay, now I have to show you how it works. So I will list it out, but then at the same time, you have to learn and be patient with those, because I might show you 1 or 2 times, but I don't know how fast you can go. I'm really a fast person in terms of working. I'm really strict. So when we met outside, it's different. When I'm working, I need people to really like discipline and then fast pace. Sometimes if you slow, that's fine. But at least it's coachable and share with you. And fast learner, I'm okay. Because otherwise we'll be delayed at work. Because I have to understand, okay, if you'll only practice to be intern, I gotta be patient with you. Otherwise, if I pay and people don't do a good job, I'm not hiring them. So that's the difference between two perspectives about why people pay differently, right? So I learned so many soft skills by myself. Like I do online, I do YouTube. I learned from so many resources that I can offer for free, like Coursera. I think the website I sent to you, they have the Coursera for free. But then for you to even sit down to learn that right now, that's really long, and it's unnecessary. But at least when I teach you, show you, and you can like, okay, I get it. But if you don't know, just ask, and it's quicker. But most of the time right now, what I'm trying to concentrate on to expand right now, I'm telling you the vision. So next year, starting from January, I'm gonna travel a lot to a lot of travel show because our group tour already almost ready 80%, right? So when we go there, that technically we're gonna try to give them flyers and then something for them to know, building the awareness about the company. So that is easy. You just tag along with me, right? And then you can just like talk to people there on the travel show. It's like 20,000 people there. And then you go around, you just like talk to supplier learning because you're also in the travel industry. You learn from the suppliers what do they do. Also on the other side, you help me to hand flyer to clients. So we do that. It's like a marketing. And we're building a giveaway technically for people to join for increase the awareness for social media. So they can follow our social media and giveaway for tour. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we do giveaway. So it's like 1,000 people gonna join the giveaway, and we give out like the trip go to Vietnam, 1 or 2 person. So I want to teach you to marketing too. So technically, if you learn from me, you learn everything about business. And then when you go, I think it's like after you learn from me, you're not gonna go back to work anymore because you're gonna start making money and live the same lifestyle as me. I don't think you will go back to a $10 or $15 job because that's the reason why I'm saying it's like, but you still need to have a job to fund your basic living, but then you have to use the rest of your time to really learn and get you out of the current situation. Because when I'm in your age, I work two part-time jobs. I only sleep 3 hours a day, but the rest of the time I always learn and go to different workshops and learn like free skill, and I have to do it a lot. So if you like really like crazy want to grow and change within like 365 days, you're gonna be crazy like disciplined. Because otherwise, because when you come to work, it's different when I hang out with you, right? Because when you come to work, you cannot say anything about your personal life. You gotta be like, okay, what can I do today? What is my job today? Or like, hey, I'm gonna do this today. This to achieve the goals and push that. So that is something that passive or active, really moving towards the goal. I want to teach you everything. Also, I'm trying to do at the same time launch the office by February, and within 2 months. I'm not sure I can actually achieve that goal because I haven't really looked into the commercial yet. I contact someone, but having an office is easier, so people now can start go to work at the office, right? This is actually my office at home, but the NGO I sent it to you, they require that if I hire people from interns, then they need to have a commercial office. But if they interns, I have to spend the time that I don't really need them. I don't think I need to have an office, because this is like, what is the point I paid you for this and go and have another office? This is my office already. And then another thing is detail for event planning. I want to host so many events. I already created 4 of them yesterday for a masterclass for a travel influencer. Also, how to establish a travel agency for people. So like I'm going to show you how to create those on Eventbrite because you need to know how to do office work. Even like later when you start your own or hosting your events, these will help you to making sure like taking money from people. When you grow later and you share, then that's how you're going to make money from Eventbrite, because that's how you marketing. Other than that, it's different thing. It's easy to teach and easy to learn, but it really depends on you. Like, do you want to learn it or not? Sometimes it can be stressful, but it's like people just look at the social media that I do, that is fun stuff, but behind the fun stuff, I do a lot. I do a lot. That it's like sometimes I sleep only a few hours a day. I didn't have a life for 2 years, so you have to satisfy the fun for like the secure for your finance. I don't really care what do you do for your personal life, but it's technically in my personal, when I try to do that, I could not or I cannot associate with people that really cannot help me. And also I don't go nightclubs or any, like I didn't travel for 2 years or even longer than that until I'm like, okay, now I think I reached my goal, I can relax a little bit. So that's how it is. You had to satisfy. I think that's it. So technically, I trying to, let me say, before when I hire people over there, I think it's 5 people, I pay them $1,500 for a whole month for all the staff. And you know, because labor over there is different, but over here it's totally different too. I want to make sure that it's fair for you and also like helping you to pay for your rent, right? But I also want to make sure that you have the time to invest to really learn that before we starting, like my company pay for it. So from now to the end of the year, so you still looking for different jobs. So my work is really flexible because I'm also go out and kind of do some work. And I drive outside, you know that, to prospect clients, to prospect more people. That's a part of it. Otherwise, the rest I do work from home. So from here, my goal is for you is by the end of the month. We have 3 weeks left.
Probably 2.5 weeks.
Yeah, somewhere like that.
Yeah.
It's 3 weeks left. You can learn a lot from me, but you have to really, really dedicate it. Otherwise, it's not going to. It's really slow. So, for instance, if I give you a deadline, just like you go into school, you have a deadline, you study, and you have a deadline to submit your homework. That's exactly you have to do with your study and your training with different things as well. Otherwise, it's leading to, oh, I haven't finished yet. That's the reason why people who success, they create the plans and a goal. They have to stick with it every single day. And I'm going to show you how. So right now we're done with the interview because I just want to see how you respond, but I think it's still weak, like not gonna lie. So that's the reason why you have to practice again, and your resume is need to adjust a little bit. But if there's not much thing to show, then there's nothing we can change. But I will send you my resume just in case you try to use it for different jobs, you know. Then you can actually adjust that a little bit.